X, Y, and Z jointly borrowed 90,000 from L. Decide each of the following in the light of Indian Contract Act. Whether L can compel only Y. So can I say here we are talking about the severe liability, correct? Whether L can compel only the legal representatives of Y to pay the loan. So we are talking about in case of what? Death. And the third one, whether Y and Z are released from their liability to L. And X is released from his liability to Y and Z if L releases X from his liability and sues Y and Z for payment. You did not understand. Okay. So this is basically, you did not understand any of this. Means, so this is basically what? Discharge. Right? This is about discharge. Whether Y and Z are released from their liability to L. So basically what has happened here is X, Y and Z have given a promise to pay L. And L has released whom? X. Whether Y and Z are released from their liability to L and X is released from his liability to Y and Z if L releases X from his liability. So when X releases L releases X from his liability, are Y and Z also released? No. They continue to be liable. If X is released from his liability, is he released from his liability to Y and Z? No. He continues to be liable. Correct? So these are the three provisions that should be there in your answer. Whenever you get a question, the first thing that you should do is after reading, when you are answering the question, that answer is based on that provision. And that logic is the provision for your answer. Obviously, we have three paragraphs. We always start with what? As per the provisions of the Indian. Okay, you cannot write the short form. You have to write the full form. 1872, when two or more persons have made a joint promise, they are called what? Joint promisers. Unless when two or more persons have made a joint promise, they are called what? Joint promisers. Unless a different intention appears, each of the joint promiser is during his lifetime. Should I give it an easy? Okay, I'll give it to you in a little easier language, which is not so confusing instead of the law language. Unless a different intention, each of the joint promiser is jointly liable for what? For their share and severely liable for the whole share. In case of death of a joint promiser, in case of death of a joint promiser, the legal heirs of the deceased promiser shall, along with others, perform their part. However, the joint promisers are liable only for their share and not for the share of what? Other joint promisers. in case the promisee releases any one of the joint promisor from liability, he shall continue to be liable to the what? Other joint promisors, and the others shall continue to be liable to the what? To the promisee. I'll send you this PDF. That is why I was writing. In the above case, X, Y, Z, what? Jointly promise. Promise what? To pay L 6 lakh. Correct? So, there is here in this case, no, there is nothing more to write here actually. Let me just open this. Oh, it was 90,000. Just a second, let me open it. So the question is whether jointly promised to pay 90,000. थोड़ा सा समझ जाओ, बड़े बड़े शहरों में ऐसी छोटी छोटी गलतियां हो जाती है. Therefore, what is the first question? Tell me what is the first question? Whether L can compel only Y to pay. Yes, L can compel only Y to pay as the liability of the joint promisor is joint and severe. What is the second question? Whether L can compel what? Only the legal heirs of Y to contribute. Right? Okay. The legal heirs of Y, I don't know why I've written L capital, of Y can be compelled to pay, but only their share. They are not liable to pay the share of others. If L discharges X or releases X, X will not be discharged of his liability to Y and Z, and Y and Z are not discharged from their liability to whom? To M. Is it clear to everyone? Yes? Simple, nothing complicated. For no reason we get scared. So I'll see you all.